The bond between a mother and a daughter is profoundly permanent, outlasting any other bond between human beings. My mom was my mentor, my guide, my role model. Thankfully, I survived my mother's womb and got to meet her after my conception.
Will 20 be enough?
Yeah, be good.
Okay, here you go.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver, Mom.
My story is not much different than many teenage girls. Like many others, I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be liked, to fit in. And that was my mistake. Instead of learning my lessons from those who knew better, I was learning my lessons the hardest way of all, by making my own mistakes.
Tomorrow we'll be meeting in front of the Family Planning Clinic. We're going to have a passive demonstration. We're going to block the doors so that no one can get in for an abortion. We're going to tie ourselves together so that if the police try to remove us, they will be delayed. And any baby scheduled to be aborted will be saved.
Will they resort to physical force?
I don't know. They have before. But we've notified all the newspapers and let them know that they can have people there to take photographs. I don't think they'll risk it. Something you do need to know is that there's a good chance that many of you will be arrested for trespassing tomorrow. So don't take any IDs and don't give them any names other than Jane Doe and John Doe. Aborted babies don't have names. They don't live long enough. And I think we need to remind them of that. You need to remember, many of you will be spending the weekend in prison. But you're in good company. Paul wrote over half of the New Testament while he was in prison. God bless you.
Alicia and Joey are two of my best friends. Who knows if they will last beyond high school together? They fight all the time. Usually it's because Joey thinks he's some kind of Casanova.
Gwen, how about you leave Joey alone? Thanks. I thought you had a little more class.
Cool, Alicia. We were just talking, all right?
No. Don't BS me, Joey. I'm impervious to your bull.
Alicia just wants him to respect her, but guys normally don't have that maturity level, especially if they use drugs. And Joey has a problem with drugs. A big problem.
That was awkward.
Yeah.
That's Miss Phillips. Teachers are supposed to give us answers, but Miss Phillips is in love with Dr. Jacobs. He parks his fancy car outside her house nearly every night in plain sight. So how am I supposed to believe her when she says to use a contraceptive or wait until marriage? Then there's Jimmy Sullivan. I don't have to worry about him wanting sex before marriage. With his uncle being one of the most respected preachers in town, he's most likely going to wait until we get married to have sex, unless Joey influences him to walk in his path. I know that the friends we pick, the people we hang with, have a profound influence on the choices we make. So the question is, which one will he listen to? Maybe he'll listen to his mom. She's a divorcee. Jimmy tells me she's not too happy about his father cheating on her, so I'm sure she'll keep Jimmy on the straight and narrow path.
So you're still going with Uncle Isaac to protest in front of that abortion clinic tomorrow?
Yes. Jimmy, 60% of all unwanted pregnancies are teenage girls. Hope you haven't been fooling around.
Nah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'm not fooling around. Besides, I'm too smart to get anybody pregnant. So why are you so against abortion anyway? I mean, doesn't every woman have a right to do with her body what she wants?
With her body, yes. But abortion decides the fate of someone else. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There's a 3-year waiting list in this country for couples who want children and can't conceive them. 2 wrongs never make a right.
Stephanie told me that Dr. Jacobs at the clinic approached her dad to make sure the police showed up tomorrow. Do you really want to be arrested?
Doing what's right is never easy. But we each have to follow the dictates of our own consciences. That's how God judges us, by how true we are to our own convictions.
I don't use drugs. I think it's stupid to do so. Hanging around with anyone using drugs or going to parties where they do them is something I wish I could take back. That night when we started, everything looked and felt so right. I was going to seal my love with Jimmy before he went away to college and give him a reminder about me I hoped he would never forget.
Hey, what's wrong? It's not like I do this with everybody. Sorry if I disappointed you or whatever. Can you just talk to me, please? Just talk to me, please.
You don't get it.
What are you doing? What do I not get? Can you help me understand? Because I don't get it. I don't think I get it because I thought that we just had something and I gave myself to you and I thought that you cared about me and I don't know why you're doing this. Because I love you, Jimmy. Jimmy, I love you.
No.
Jimmy, I love you.
No.
No? What does no mean? I can't believe you're doing this to me right now.
Just get out of here, Steph.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Lay your life on the alter ego. You took a wife just the other day. The stars were shining bright that night, but in the morning she'd flown away.
Dude, Todd, give me a hand, dude. These don't.
And these lines will walk in.
Alright, let's get him up to his room.
These hours are abusing. And I'm wondering where, I'm wondering
I hate him.
where.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
I understand. Look, you're not talking to an idiot. I'll get Jacobs what he needs at my own time.
So, Ben.
Hey, Steph. All right. Stephanie, I'm really sorry. Would you just listen to me for a second? I'm sorry about last night. I mean, could you just look at it, like, try to look it through my point of view? Try to understand maybe why I was a little upset.
Sorry, I forgot to look at it through your point of view. Forgot everything's always about you.
Look, Steph, I'm trying to apologize here. I'm trying to make this right.
Because what you did last night wasn't right.
Look, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
I don't really care what you do today, because it was the fact that you didn't do anything or say anything last night. I think that we should just cool it for a little bit.
It's gonna happen, but at my own time. All right, put 15 more police on overtime and arrest the protesters. Hold on. What do you need, Jimmy?
You have my mom and uncle arrested for having a sit-in?
They were blocking my friend's business. He requested they be removed. Anything else? Did you get that?
You know, God is looking down.
No more debt! What right do you have to block my business? No more debt!
Not doing
No more debt! No more debt! No more debt! No more debt! Hey, Ashram! Leave it alone! No more debt! No more debt! No!
Amen. Hear him talking now. Amen.
I need you and you. Come with me.
Your name, please.
Baby John Doe.
Look, just give me your name and you'll be out of here in about 3 hours.
Look, Sergeant, I know you've got a job to do. Unfortunately, I've got one to do as well. There are God's laws and there are man's laws. And God says we're supposed to protect the perishing. And that's exactly what this movement is about. So if you think we're going to cave under threats of imprisonment, we're not. You can put me in jail and throw away the key. I don't care. But let me tell you what, you ought to be arresting that abortionist. He's the one that's killed thousands of babies, and while we're in here, he's still practicing, he's still profiting from the destruction of others.
I'll be back. Hey, Captain, can you come here for a second?
We want you to drop your trespassing complaint. We simply don't have the facilities to handle these many prisoners.
Can't you just book them and let them go? I don't understand why you have to detain them.
Well, it's not that simple. None of them have any proper identification. They won't even give us their names.
What about my clinic? Look, Captain, I had 8 procedures scheduled for today. I have mortgage payments, insurance, nurses to pay. So next time something like this happens to me, I'll make sure it gets ugly.
Why do you let this show drag on when so few ever turn?
Do you think I should talk to him? Are you sure? I don't know. I mean, I guess I have to. Yeah, I guess you do. I guess you should. Okay, I just need like a minute then. Okay, I'll see you. Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
So you're an abortion activist now.
2 cops were dragging away my mom and bumped her head. I went off, that's all.
Does it hurt?
Yeah. Hurts a lot. Just kidding.
Maybe I could go to one of those abortion meetings.
Yeah, we have one on Wednesday. Can I pick you up?
I don't know about that. I'm kind of confused about us right now. Maybe I should probably go.
I need some information. I need your daughter to let me know when they're going to hit my clinic again. I lost $10,000 this week, Dave. I need her to hang out, find out when they're going to protest at my clinic again. Come on, I'll make it up to you.
You know, Jacobs, I can talk her into it. But I am not crazy about this idea.
Thank you.
I have a favor to ask of you. I played golf with your gynecologist today, Dr. Jacobs. He wanted me to ask you if you would let him know in advance if they were going to have another protest of this clinic.
Dave, are you asking her to spy on her friends?
These are not her friends. The only one she knows is Jimmy. It's not exactly spying. Look, Jacobs lost 8 patients today. That's a lot of money.
Dad,
all he wants to know is if they're going to protest so he can work around the event. I'll take full responsibility for the rest.
okay. But just promise that all he wants to do is just reschedule. Because if Jimmy finds out that his girlfriend's an informant, it's not really gonna look okay? So just...
That's it.
Hey, Dad. Are you for abortion?
Steph, I don't think anybody really is for abortion. I just feel women should have the right to choose what happens to their own bodies. And I certainly feel people should not be trespassing on other people's property, especially while I'm in office.
But what about their babies?
The Supreme Court does not recognize them as viable people, not until they are able to live outside the womb.
Stephanie, I think what your father's trying to say is that he's not either for or against abortion. It's just that it's his job to uphold the law. The world is so overpopulated now. It's a real problem. And part of that problem is so much teenage unwanted pregnancy.
Then what about adoption?
Steph, hold on. I think your mother's right. We'll discuss this at another time.
I've lost my appetite. Can I just be excused, please?
Come on, try to eat something.
No, you'd think I was talking about AIDS or something.
Let her go up to her room, Marianne.
Dave, she doesn't know.
I know this is a sensitive issue for you, Marianne, but it was best at the time. Best at the time. Best at the time.
Man, God has really been dealing with me lately. It's like, inside I know what's right, I just can't get a handle on it all the time.
Have you prayed about this?
I have, and I apologize to Stephanie, but...
Jimmy, let me tell you a little story. There was a guy who was up on his roof hammering, and he was pounding away when he hit his thumb. And when he did, he took the Lord's name in vain, and he immediately said a prayer and said, God, forgive me. And then he started hammering again, and just a second later, he hit his thumb, and he said, God, forgive me, I did it again. And he heard this voice say, did what?
How come?
Because when God forgives us, he not only forgives, but he forgets as well. Jesus said, go and sin no more.
Her breakfast in bed. She was already on her way to somebody else. I put a price on her head, but it's only gonna cost me my mental health. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I can pay now or later, but the cost later is so much greater, and it's a hard way back in. So I'm taking the hurt way out. Now when I got to the store, I thought letting you go wasn't gonna be the way to go. I bought some milk and some bread, then I couldn't believe my ears when the cashier said, oh, 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 you can pay now or later.
Stephanie, when was the last time you had your period?
To any time.
But didn't you miss your period last month too?
Doesn't everybody miss one or two occasionally?
Tomorrow, you're going to get a test.
It's not that big of a deal, Mom. Can we just go to dinner without fighting, please?
Stephanie, you're pregnant. I assume you don't want to keep it, so we can schedule a short procedure and we'll have her out of here in no time.
How soon can you get her in?
The sooner the better. I say we try and get her in this weekend.
Mom, I have that ski trip with Alicia planned this weekend.
Stephanie, the ski trip is going to have to wait. Do you have any idea what would happen if word got out to your father's political career? That could ruin him. And our friends, what will they say? I'll bring her in this weekend.
Insurance doesn't cover this. The cost is $1,250 and we'll do it on an outpatient basis. It could be more if there's any complications, but usually there's not any. Sometimes the patient experiences shock after the procedure, so it'd be best if you drove her or had one of her friends bring her in. I'm sorry, I know this isn't any fun for you, but the next time you decide to have physical relations, you should use a contraceptive.
I mean, it was my first time, so I thought
I'll bring her in this Saturday. We'll be here at 11. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My mom was mad at me, mad at Jimmy. It was a big inconvenience for me to get pregnant. My dad was running for Congress. Jimmy was getting more and more involved with the abortion movement. I quit going, but inside I was confused. I wanted to do the right thing. I just didn't know what it was.
Okay, today we are going to discuss the topics of communicable diseases. All right, can anyone give me an example of a communicable disease? Yes, Alicia.
Men.
Stu Maker.
Nice.
Sorry. I just meant that men give them to women. Herpes.
Can anyone else give me an example of the disease? Yes, Mr. Sullivan.
Abortion?
I don't think abortion is a disease, Mr. Sullivan.
Then why do so many people die from it?
This is not current affairs. This is biology. I said the curriculum. If you have a problem with it, you can report after class, and your friends can tell your coach why you're going to be late for practice.
What's got into him?
I don't know. This new crusade or something.
Mr. Gallo, could you kindly give us a communicable disease?
Give you one. AIDS.
Okay, exactly how is the AIDS virus transmitted?
Through sex. I think between queers or something.
Not exactly. It's passed through the blood. And currently it is just as prevalent in the heterosexual communities as it is in the homosexual communities. Does anyone here know the origin of the virus? Yes, Mr. Peach.
Yeah, Liberace.
How about fruit flies?
Mr. Sullivan, I'll need to see you after class. Have a seat. I understand you're on this new crusade to enlist the young people in the struggle against abortion.
I have my rights and freedom of speech.
Yes, you do. But I'm not going to allow you to use this classroom as your podium for yours or your uncle's self-righteous views.
Hold on. When exactly did you become God? Choosing who should live and who should die? If he is the life force behind all creation, then what right do we have to terminate life? Miss Phillips, I know you date Dr. Jacobs, but in cold hard reality, he's a hired murderer. He profits off the deaths of unborn babies. Next time he's touching you, try not to think about how many babies he's dismembered or injected with saline to burn to death.
I don't have to listen to this from you.
Money is the root of all evil, Miss Phillips. How many abortions do you think Jacobs would be doing if they were free?
Monday, I want a written essay on the origin of AIDS. No less than 300 words. And Mr. Sullivan, I'll see you after school. Your friends can tell your coach why you're going to miss practice.
Hey. What you did in class was really brave. If there's a meeting coming up, I'd really like to go.
That sounds great. I'll let you know when we have one coming up.
And you're really good at football.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, well, my mom's in pro-life, so I'd like to get involved, but I gotta go. Bye.
I'll see you around.
Ta-da! Hey, what's up?
So, Joey gave it to me.
I could see that from Mars. It's like,
So, ready for the ski trip?
About that, I don't think I can go.
Why not?
I have a doctor's appointment.
Do it after the ski trip.
It's not that easy. I'm pregnant. I have to get an abortion.
Oh no. Was it from Jimmy?
Yeah. I don't know. My mom wants to take me, but I think you should. I mean, just because I'm kind of freaked out about the whole thing, and I don't. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So, your mom's paying?
Yeah, definitely. Thank God. I mean, it's not exactly cheap to get one of those things.
Right.
You know, we should go to the mall or something. I just need to get out of this house. I feel like I'm suffocating.
Actually, I just came from the mall. Which reminds me that I got you a little present. Those are adorable! Should wear them next time you see Jimmy. Why?
Dude, it's confirmed. Stephanie's going to Dr. Jacobs.
Man, I have to stop this, man.
I don't know how Jimmy found out so quickly, but in a small town, everybody seems to know everything instantly. When he came to the restaurant to get me, I was freaked out. The plans were made. I was aborting my baby, and nobody was going to change my mind.
What do you want?
I want you to keep the baby.
What baby?
Steph, I know about the abortion.
Do you even care about me at all? Or is it just the baby? Look. You don't have to walk around pregnant for 9 months with everybody staring at you, do you? And you don't have your parents constantly reminding you of what a horrible slut you are, do you? No, all you have to do is roll over and it's somebody else's problem. I had my doubts at first, but it's best if I just terminate it, okay?
Look, Steph, it's not just your decision, okay? It's my baby too. And what about the baby? Doesn't it have any rights? I mean, you can't be inconvenienced for a couple of months so that this kid can live. Don't you think you're being a little selfish?
Don't talk to me about this again, okay? Nothing you can say is going to change my mind. Leave her alone. Look, Jimmy, we all know how you feel about abortion. But don't go putting your guilt trips on Stephanie. She's got enough to worry about without you making her feel guilty.
It's not just her problem, okay? I'm the father.
No. You were the father. But in a couple of days, you're not gonna be a father. So back off.
Sorry, dude. Let's go talk to my dad. Don't worry about them. Come on.
How can I be of help? I got my girlfriend pregnant, and now she wants to have an abortion the day after tomorrow. I want her to keep it. She can adopt it out if she wants, or if she wants to keep it, I'll pay for it. I will give up my college scholarship if I have to.
How old is your girlfriend?
She's still 17.
Well, then I'm afraid there's nothing you can do. Ordinarily, you could get a court injunction if the abortion was being performed without her parents' consent, but I doubt that's the case. Jimmy, my wife and I are Catholic. We're fundamentally opposed to abortion, but the law doesn't allow us to do anything about it. You can pray that she'll change her mind, but like most girls in her situation, she's probably angry and confused. There's nothing you can legally do. I wish there was.
Dad, could you possibly talk to her father?
Well, I've dealt with him before. He's tough and ruthless. He's not going to want a pregnant daughter in high school, not with the congressional primaries coming up. He's got too much at stake to let something like this get in his way.
You said most of the Bible was written from jail.
That's right.
Do you really think some of us should go to jail for what we believe?
Absolutely. There's a woman in Florida right now serving 5 years for protesting abortion. If the righteous do nothing, then the people perish. If a salt has lost its flavor, it's worth nothing.
I'm gonna go now. I just want you to know that I love you.
There you go.
Jimmy?
Where's Stephanie? Don't you move an inch or I swear I'll blow you away! I'm not gonna let you get away with killing my kid. Get out of here.
Jimmy?
I'm sorry, Steph. You wouldn't listen to reason.
Where are you taking me?
Mexico.
No, we didn't get a chance to finish the procedure, Mayor. About 5 more minutes would have been done. No, I'm here with the captain right now. I'll call you later. So that little maniac hit me in the face with his rifle butt and then kidnapped my patient. What are you going to do about it?
The kid's probably out of town by now. We'll put an APB out on that vehicle.
Do you even know what he looks like?
Yeah, the kid's been in the paper more than the governor.
Get on it.
We'll get him.
Get me Senator Dunlap, please. Yes, Helen, thank you. Harvey, you still got ends with the Federal Aviation Authorities. Yes, it's my daughter, Stephanie Anderson. Harvey, it's a long story. Is there something you can do for me? Yes, Harvey.
I was reborn by a look from the sun, and now you and I aren't one. Yet you call me crazy. What I do is adore, let's say, and you can just take or leave it your way. Well, you call it baby. Well, the pitch is on its way amidst the smoke, amidst the flames. But I'm not going your way. No, I'm not going your way. No, I'm not going your way.
You're still carrying her baby, Steph.
You have an open mind, it seems, but it seems someone implanted your dreams, and yet you.
How long was I out?
Like 3.5 hours.
It was a long trip to Mexico. It felt a little bit like Bonnie and Clyde. My boyfriend kidnapped me, and I was going to Mexico with him to have my baby. I was relieved the abortion hadn't gone down, but I knew the authorities would be out looking for us. My dad had too many connections to give up easily.
I'm still your friend, bravely standing at your side as I reach out my heart and release my soul. Save a place for me without you. I must go. Ooh, I must go. The beauty that you gave, the way that you left, it changes everything without you. I'm only half, only
The walk across into Mexico was easily the biggest part of the challenge. So many Americans go to Mexico for a day of shopping, discount prescription drugs, underage drinking, that our crossing wasn't even noticed. But I knew they'd eventually find his truck and start tracking us down.
your time ends, but mine must go on. Ooh, I must go on. The beauty that you gave, the way that you left, it changes everything without you. I'm only half, I still feel your.
It was Jimmy's idea to get as much distance from the border as we could. So we got bus tickets and just rode a really long way.
Pictured still in time. Here I am, left in this world, wishing you were here with me.
I've never been away from home for this long. I kind of miss everybody. I guess I'm doing this for you.
Oh, you're doing it for the baby, right? I don't think I would change anything. I would do it all exactly the same.
Pictured still in
This was retrieved from the truck at the border.
What about the kids? They crossed the bridge into Mexico.
Any evidence in the truck?
None.
So you got nothing. What charges are you going to press?
Kidnapping, along with aggravated assault. The kid could go to jail for a long time.
Talk to the mayor.
Got a meeting with him in a couple hours.
Best of luck. Stop Jimmy and Hendrik. About the mission. I don't want to start an international incident. It's a federal case now.
These lies
El sospechoso está corriendo sur.
I've got him. We're on our way.
You were perfect even then, my love.
My dad hated Jimmy for what he did and said he was going to make sure he paid for it.
I would sit beside your cradle and watch you gently fall asleep. I used to hold you in my arms, my child, and marvel at your tiny hands. And I would always watch and wonder as you grew from boy to man. If you were ever in tears, I'd kiss you till the pain disappeared. If only I could hold you now in my arms for one last time. Inside my heart is breaking, just watching you, Jesus. You were mine. You were mine. Your precious hands that used to hold me so tightly to the cross. They'll never know how much I love you, Jesus. Now everything I had is lost. Wish that I could wipe your tears. I wanna hold you till the pain disappears.
You gonna try him as an adult?
Adult crimes get adult trials. Mr. Petrie, you know that.
All right, well, what about a plea bargain?
Kidnapping. And we'll let the state and federal sentences run concurrently. No deals. We're asking 15 to 20.
He just turned 18. He is a kid.
As trite as it may sound, do the crime, do the time. My hands are tied. I can't just slap him on the wrists. We have to make an example out of him.
The judge denied our bail request. You're gonna have to sit this out. Look, Jimmy, when you asked me what you could do about this, I never knew you'd go to these extremes.
Is Stephanie okay?
We haven't had a chance to talk to her. Her parents took her out of state to have the baby. She's still a minor.
She knows I didn't kidnap her.
Jimmy, they're offering you 15 to 20. You can get out with 7 years with good behavior.
You're saying I should roll over and plead guilty? I did it to save a life. You taught me that, Uncle Isaac.
Jimmy, we're behind you 100%. We just want you to know they're going to go for the jugular on this. Now, Mr. Petrie thinks that we have a good chance, that you've got a fair judge.
The judge is a marginal Catholic. But Jimmy, this case is not going to be about kidnapping. It's about abortion. The right to life or death. Whether or not you had the right to commit one crime to prevent another. The precedents are unclear. This is going to be a test case. The Supreme Court hasn't even defined the viability of life. Stephanie was 3 months pregnant when you kidnapped her. The child could never have survived outside the womb. You're the guinea pig, Jimmy. If we fail, you go down for a long stretch. But if we win, it could change the course of this nation.
It's 4th down. Let's go for it.
Patriotism. Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Petrie, will have you believe that Jimmy Sullivan, after knocking a doctor cold with a rifle butt, destroying a Border Patrol vehicle, and endangering the life of a 17-year-old girl, is a patriot. After getting her pregnant in a moment of teenage passion, he decided to amend for his actions by taking her against her will, or at the very least without her consent, to a foreign country, thus forcing her to come to full term with her pregnancy. Human rights. Right to life. These are terms which, no doubt, we will become quite sick of hearing during these proceedings. When do one individual's rights supersede the rights of another individual? The record will show that Stephanie Anderson went voluntarily to the medical clinic. In fact, she was driven there by her girlfriend. Stephanie's life has been changed too. Whether she decides to raise this child herself or to give it up for adoption, this child will change her life. And as a 17-year-old still living at home, she is under the legal and moral guidance of her parents. And they decided that it was best for her to have the medical procedure. All these things will be shown. But the heart of the case is much more simple than they would have you believe. If Jimmy Sullivan did take Stephanie Anderson against her will to Mexico, then he's guilty of kidnapping and should be punished to the full extent of the law. He broke the law, and unless we want to allow people to break the law upon every dictate of conscience, we need to send a clear message to America and to the whole world. If you break the law, you go to jail.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, seated before you, charged with kidnapping, unlawful flight, is a young man who just turned 18 years old. You've seen him before. He was in Sports Illustrated for top high school quarterback. Led his team to the state AAA championship. He had his whole life before him. Yet he threw it all away in what some would say was the ultimate foolhardy act. He never finished his senior year of high school. The girl he took was shipped out of state by her parents where, due to the late stages of her pregnancy, we'll have the child. The child that he saved from the saline injection the doctor was about to give her, and that undoubtedly we will probably never meet. You might ask yourself, why? Was it worth it? My client, Jimmy Sullivan, believes to this day that if this court finds him guilty of kidnapping and he spends the rest of his life in a filthy prison, that it was worth it. He believes that saving another human being and giving another person the same shot at life that all of us here were given by our parents is worth the sacrifice of any personal freedoms he may have to endure. This is not a simple case of kidnapping. This is about the right of a human being to save another human being. The prosecution will tell you how the law is the law and that there is no flexibility. But would a husband driving his wife to the delivery room be given a speeding ticket or a police escort? If a man breaks down the door of a burning building to save the life of a child, is he charged with destruction of private property? Or is he given a Citizen's Medal of Honor? The eyes of the world are watching, ladies and gentlemen. The decision is in your hands. Jimmy Sullivan, hero or felon?
We will recess 15 minutes, then the prosecution may present its case.
What's up, man?
Alicia got a call from Stephanie.
Is she gonna testify?
If she does, her parents will disown her. It's mega bucks.
Why do you let this show drag on when so few ever turn it on? But I'm so glad you let it run. But now the long run is getting long. And whatever happened to the truth? God, did they trade you in for something they could use? To sleep at night instead of living right. Plot on the plan to dig you up, but I just had to laugh a lot, 'cause they had nothing in the pot.
Dr. Jacobs, you stated you were about to perform an operation, is that correct?
Yes, the surgical removal of a fetus.
And can you describe the procedure for removing the fetus?
Saline solution.
Just how does the saline solution bring about the death of the child?
The saline is injected into the fetus and it causes a cessation of the heartbeat.
Is there increased movement in the womb after the injection?
Yes, there is increased fetal movement.
Would it be improper to call these movements death throes?
I suppose not.
Does the fetus experience pain?
I've never really given it much thought.
Doctor, how many abortions have you performed?
Over 15,000?
You mean to tell me that you've performed 15,000 abortions on potentially viable human beings, and you never stopped to ask yourself whether or not they felt pain during the operation?
Jimmy fought so we could keep the baby. Now it was our chance to fight together before they took away my baby and sent him to prison, and it was too late for any of us.
You mentioned that the patient, Miss Anderson, was under heavy sedation. Is that true?
Yes, many times we'll sedate the patient so that she doesn't experience any discomfort.
So you sedate the patient, yet you never once stopped to consider whether or not you should sedate the fetus before injecting it with a solution that burned it internally?
Your Honor, defense is badgering the witness.
Sustained. Defense will limit his extemporaneous comments on the beginning of life and continue his cross-examination. Counselor, one more outburst and I will find you in contempt.
Do I have to answer the question?
Counsel for the defense will rephrase the question.
Did you ever sedate a fetus?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Here I was landing in Houston, and Todd was going to meet me. Testifying against Jimmy would put a wedge between my father and me, but I couldn't let him go to jail on a lie. It felt like the first grown-up action I'd ever taken, but I had my daughter to think about, and I didn't want her growing up without knowing her dad.
If you find the defendant guilty, you'll be sending a message to the world. You'll be no different than the people that ignored Kitty Geneviese's screams for help several years ago in Brooklyn, New York, and closed their windows and went back to watching television while she was stabbed brutally more than 25 times. This case is not about kidnapping. This case is about the right of one person to save the life of another person. Jimmy Sullivan wanted to save the life of his unborn child that he had conceived out of wedlock. He sought legal help. He sought legal help. He pleaded with the girl. And finally, out of desperation, took matters into his own hands. Now, we're not denying that the methods were unorthodox or violent, but the very thing that he was trying to prevent, and did prevent, the taking of a human life, is violent. If you find for the prosecution, you'll be saying Jimmy Sullivan is a felon. He'll never get to vote. He'll be branded for the rest of his life. We have brought character witnesses up here to tell you of his exemplary scholastic record, his athletic prowess. This is a man of extraordinary potential. But the prosecution hasn't allowed you to hear the testimony of Miss Anderson. I wonder what she would say, though, if she were here right now with her child. Would she appreciate Jimmy Sullivan saving the life of that child? I'd like to call Stephanie Anderson to the stand.
Your Honor, this is highly irregular.
Is it from my heart? How does the song reach the sky? It's rising up.
I couldn't give up my baby. Maybe you could disown me, but I could never disown my own child. Okay, go. Jimmy Sullivan did not kidnap me. I went willingly. I walked myself across Mexico.
Young lady, please have a seat. I'm going to declare this a mistrial. Case dismissed.
Can we hear them revealing your sacrifice? The life you bring, Lord, we sing you are amazing. How can my hands reach up to touch you, Lord, and how amazing are you? And I will sing of how you gave and how you love. Now I sing how amazing are you. I commit my whole life. Find you if it's another day. Find I'm searching another way. You'll find out that I'm okay with. Oh, this mess is not like poetry. It's all just way too much for me that I can't rewrite my life story with. Oh, I commit my whole life to the one. To the one, and I can seek and will find just the one for you, and then I will break through. I found it looks just like a bad dream. Things aren't always what they seem. It's not who I am, it's who I can be.